The morning sun glistened on the Sea of Galilee as Josh the lion and Pete the lamb made their way along the shoreline. Pete bounded ahead excitedly, his fluffy tail wiggling with each hop. "Slow down, Pete," Josh called, his deep voice carrying across the water. "Remember what happened last time you ran ahead without looking?" Pete skidded to a halt, remembering how he'd accidentally knocked over a fisherman's basket of fish. "Sorry, Josh." "But look, there's a huge crowd gathering over there." Indeed, thousands of people were assembling on a grassy hillside overlooking the sea. At the center stood a man whose presence seemed to radiate peace. "That's Jesus of Nazareth," Josh whispered reverently. "People have been following him for days to hear his teachings." Pete's stomach grumbled loudly. "I'm hungry, Josh. Do you think they'll have food?" Josh shook his head. "They've been here all day. I doubt anyone planned for such a crowd." They found a spot near the front where they could watch as Jesus finished speaking. The disciples approached Jesus, concerned about the hungry crowd. "Send them away to buy food," one suggested. "They need not go away," Jesus replied. "You give them something to eat." Pete watched wide-eyed as a young boy offered his small lunch, 5 loaves and 2 fish. "What's he doing, Josh?" Pete whispered. "That's barely enough for the boy himself." Josh smiled knowingly. "Watch and see, little one." Jesus took the loaves, looked up to heaven, gave thanks, and broke them. As the disciples began distributing the food, something miraculous happened. The bread and fish multiplied in their hands, feeding all 5,000 people until everyone was satisfied. "Josh, did you see that?" Pete exclaimed, holding his portion of bread. "How did he do it?" "That's the power of faith, Pete," Josh explained, his golden mane catching the setting sun. Jesus teaches us that with God, nothing is impossible, and that we should share what we have no matter how small it seems. Pete looked thoughtfully at his bread. "Like how I should share my berries with the other lambs, even when I only have a few." "Exactly," Josh nodded proudly, and notice how they collected 12 baskets of leftovers afterward. God provides not just enough, but abundantly more than we need. As they walked home under the stars, Pete nestled against Josh's warm mane. "I want to be generous like Jesus," he whispered. Josh smiled, his heart full. "That's one of the most important commandments, to love others as yourself. I'm proud of you, little one."